Yeah, when I was a kid, I had a Lamborghini Countach on my walls, but this is the car that is going to be on kids' walls. I hope there are still posters on kids' walls. Hey, it's Adam with Chico's Cars, and it's a super exciting week because I have the keys to a McLaren 570GT in front of me right now. We're not worthy! We're not worthy! We're also going to check out Dan's McLaren 570S Spider and ask him about what he loves so much about that car. We'll also explain the differences between the GT as well as the S model. But I have the keys to a bona fide supercar, and what I love doing is driving, so let's roll. Has a V8 twin turbo 3.8 liter motor, and it is a beast. 562 horsepower, 443 foot-pounds of torque, and some people complain about the turbo lag, but when you get this thing spooled, this is a beast, and it actually, frankly, just adds to the character of this car. So my first 10 minutes with this car, I was wondering why would anybody want a supercar like a McLaren over a Porsche. But after 10 minutes, I got that supercar fever, and I started to really understand what it's all about and the theatrics of driving a car like this. So I think the exterior of the 570, I think it's one of their most beautiful McLarens, if not the most beautiful. I like the fact that it's a little bit smaller. The rear end of this car is just beautiful, how the taillights and the lip of the spoiler cut just a magnificent supermodel kind of silhouette. And if you look through the rear grille, you can see all of the work that they've done on the motor and exhaust and the subframe and the suspension, and it is just motorsport. So I want to talk about the interior of this car. The carbon shifters actually work on a rocker system, so you could actually just use one finger to both downshift and upshift, but they both articulate on one rocker panel. It's quite interesting actually, and if you're used to, like me, a Porsche system, then you kind of have to just let your fingers readjust, but it's beautiful. The interior of this GT is just clad in hand-stitched leather from England, and it is just beautiful with the carbon fiber steering wheel and everything else. It sets a tone for this car that is just as exciting from the inside as it is the outside. I really love the pedal placement, and these aluminum pedals are just phenomenal. They're almost like in the middle of the car, and they're both on the exact same level. So for left foot braking, this is just a tremendous car. The dead pedal's exactly where you want it. Seating position's phenomenal. Forward visibility is the best I've ever seen. You're just in the wide open space looking forward. The rear visibility, however, is quite bad, but if you're driving this car as it's intended, you probably don't need to worry as much about what's coming up in the back. So the GT stands for Grand Touring on this car, and the differences between it and the S is that you have the rear luggage hatch that you can store more luggage in. It also comes with a slightly softer suspension and fully clad with leather, a better Bowers & Wilkins sound system, and the exhaust is a little bit more muted. Although, to be frank, I'd like the loud exhaust in this car. So I don't have a lot of experience driving supercars. I've driven a few Ferraris and Lamborghinis, never driven a McLaren before, but I have a lot of experience with Porsches, and this is my take. Porsche is just a tremendous brand, and if you want like super reliability and you want something that doesn't squeak and has a lot of performance and bang for the buck, a Porsche is a great car. But if you're looking to make a statement and have a theatrics and art, then maybe the McLaren is for you. It's just a different kind of experience. So while I've had a tremendous time driving this 570 GT, let's check out Dan's 570S Spider and see what he thinks of it. Actually, I kind of enjoyed the reaction, I have to say. Like, I kind of enjoyed having it around Uxbridge and seeing people's reaction, because there's a few McLarens in our town. One guy's got two, actually, and then there's a 458, but not a lot of exotics, and they rarely get outside. So I actually had it in the rain and outside, and I got a lot of great reactions. What other exotic cars would you have considered?
I'll be honest, I wasn't considering anything else. I wasn't even in the market to buy this. Honestly, it was very random, very quick, spontaneous. If I was considering something else, I'd probably be looking at the 488 Ferrari. Yep. Again, I'm not in the market for one, but if I was in the market for
so Ferrari, don't contact Dan right now. He's happy with this.
No more money.
No. Compare sound from this to your 911.
Well, the 911, it had a little bit of sound. I mean, they are turbocharged now, so you get a little bit of sound on it. They used to sound better than the previous
naturally aspirated.
The dot ones and anything prior to that. Definitely sounded better. However, I mean, it still had a good sound. A lot of backfire on the 911 as well, which is great. Like, you have those pop-pops.
Yep.
Which is fantastic. They're easy to do. You just downshift, hit the gas, and you get them. You get them on this car, but you have to downshift at a higher RPM, and then it'll give you the pop-pops.
So, the modes. What modes do you generally choose to run this in?
It's in track mode now.
Yep.
However, I don't know why it's in track mode. Usually I'll drive it in sport mode, and when you drive it in sport mode, you get when you drive it in track mode, the tachometer changes from a normal cylinder type one that you find on basically every car into a race one that comes from the P1.
Oh, yeah.
So when I flip them over, you see how it goes.
Oh!
So this is the normal or sport setting, and when you want to put it to track, this is what happens. You get the P1 style shift cluster where when you're on load, the lights will flash and go up forward as the RPMs go higher. So it's a little bit difficult to shift. Sometimes I hit the rev limiter, so I like to drive it in just normal sport mode. But I guess if I go to the track, I'll definitely will use the track mode.
What are the positives the things you most love about this car? And are there any negatives that you found with this car?
Well, I love everything about this car. First of all, it's fantastic. I love everything about this car. I guess the only sort of quirk is because it's handmade. You get a little bit of things that are not always perfect. Not always perfect. So some of the leather on the door, just it's bubbling a little bit, but they fixed it and it's all it's all fine now. So whatever.
Anything else that you want to add about this car?
You Ferrari guys, if you are thinking of maybe making the change, I highly suggest that you go see Andrew and Mark and the team at Pfaff McLaren and take one of these guys for a test drive, whether it's the 570S GT Spider or the 720. They got the Spider coming next year for the 720, so I highly suggest you look at the McLaren brand because they are kicking ass.
And you can actually take one for a test drive. You can't take any of the Ferraris for a test drive.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, maybe you can take a California or a, but generally they won't let you take 488s out for test drives. Okay. They don't have test cars.
Huh.
So
okay, well,
so McLaren does, because they are a newer brand with street cars than Ferrari is, and they have sort of a different philosophy, let's say, around the cars.
Well, hey, I suggest going to see Andrew and Mark and the team over there, and they're going to take good care of you, because that's what I did, and I ended up with a car and I wasn't expecting. They do that good a job.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dan.
Adam,
really appreciate this spin in this car.
No problem.
Thanks a lot.
Have a good day, guys.
So big shout out to Pfaff McLaren for loaning me this out of this world 570 GT, and a big thanks to Dan and his amazing 570S Spider. And please subscribe to my channel, Chico's Cars, and I'll bring you more unreal cars and amazing content. And how much did I like this McLaren?
I must be honest here. I love driving it. It is so choice. If you have the means, I highly recommend picking one up. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mint.